Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are once again. Okay, just bring this off over here. Yep, there we go. Okay, my god. Last turn, holy mother of god. Well, this turn I should say. Really did not expect it to go anything like as well as it did, which is remarkable. I'm not going to kid anybody on that one. We got off quite lucky there. The moonlight, I think, really did make the big difference there. I really do believe it did. I was going to make sure that all these ships are actually heading in the right direction. Not to Luganville. There we go to Bellop. Now, what I would do... I mean, in fairness, do I have them actually just patrol this area? It might not be a bad idea just to have them patrol the area. In fact, we'll do that. Probably a better idea than then just leaving them just to dawdle around, really. In fact, I'll tell them all to merge with that group there. At least then we do have... It's a block and force, if anything. Might cause some issues, really. It's going to be a very interesting series of turns to come then in the future. I mean, we have much to do. Much to do here. Now, first priority is obviously making sure that these men can land over here. Which is going to happen. We don't need to worry about that one. So Ben, J Street, how you doing there, my dude? Maybe I'll do another one. Depends if you guys are feeling lucky, really. Just got to finish off this turn here. I don't think it's going to take us too long to finish this one off here, actually. Not too long. I was thinking, actually, maybe after this, start painting my Hungarian bolt action figures. Action figures sounds weird. Yeah, okay. Miniatures, I'll say miniatures. It sounds more adult there. But no, I'm still just so happy about the actual turn and how it turned out there. There we go. And the question is going to be, will he return with his cruisers? I'm not entirely convinced that he will. Maybe. We'll send bits once they let me watch ads again. Thank you very much, my dude. Oh dear. No, I really appreciate it. Hello there, Keith. How you doing there, my friend? It's good to see you once again. Right. Yeah, Kinagusa headed down that way. Okay. What I'm going to do then is actually put them on normal reaction, I suppose. They might, well, They're not very durable, are they? So no, they should probably go on low reaction. Well, low threat tolerance, I should say. We'll have them linger there a day. Would it be afternoon or early evening for you? Oh, thank you very much for Krupek. Really appreciate it, my friend. It's about 6 o'clock at the moment. So, yeah, this is generally the time I do come online and stream. And I do need to, like, make some sort of schedule. But the thing is, it's like, I tend to be, like, busy random times of the week. I do try to make it for about 6 o'clock each evening, really, if I can do. Or most evenings. Try and keep things, like, uniform. Okay. Now, the beauty is we're playing this in windowed mode, so I can, of course, bring up the actual drawn tool over here. So... These forces, bar the Kinagusa, which is this one or this one, I forget which one is the Kinagusa. But these forces are going to head over here to Bellop Island. Everything over here, really, all the transports, they're going to head down here to land at Ofoa. We're going to have a destroyer Minesweepers actually head up here to Comac. Defang Comac, get rid of those bloody... Yeah, get rid of those mines. Oh, is E3 on? I didn't even know E3 was on. Christ, I can't remember the last time I actually watched one of those E3s. My friend was telling me about this game that Keanu Reeves is in. I'm like, what? I don't even know anything about that. Oh dear. XTRG. Hello, Bear4. How you doing there, my friend? Okay. So we're going to have the patrol roads head to Bellop Island, then run patrol there. We'll have our destroying minesweepers head north, then over here to deal with the mines at Comac. They could deal the mines over here at the mayor, but I can do that later. Now, I'm not going to run the H6K4s on naval attack again this turn. I don't think it's necessary. I'm playing a play-by-email game right now as the Allies, learning a lot from watching the stream. Oh, that's awesome there, Keith. Well, I mean, this is it. You can actually see, like, how the Japanese operate and how they have to take things and really how you can cause issues for them. Okay. I think what I'm going to do here, then, is actually up that to about 70% patrol there. Yeah, we have an interesting mix of pilots over here of various experience. Okay. But these guys did fantastic. So we do have a couple in there for maintenance. One of them will be ready tomorrow. The rest, yeah, about 12 days. Fatigue's not too terrible. I mean, I do have some reserve here, so at least I can actually use those if necessary. Nice. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at the amount of torpedoes that we have over here. Yep, okay. So we still have 100 torpedoes here as part of our ordnance. I can imagine that's obviously due to the fact that they did refill automatically. Now that can be both a blessing and a curse. Obviously it's decent in areas like this, but obviously if you're low on supply you probably want to be quite careful about the amount of supplies being used to, well, produce your torpedoes really. But it seems as if we can actually do this over here, so that's quite good. Now, I've got them sent with that bloody future objective to Manila, actually, probably not the best idea. So we'll have it set for New Mayor for the time being. Well, actually, no. Probably would have been better over at Suva. But that's fine, we'll have it set for the time being. Yeah, it's not going to make a tremendous difference at this moment in time. Okay. So then, Cal, how you doing there, my friend? Yeah, there is a part of me that thinks maybe we should have the H6K4s and naval attack again, but I don't think it's worthwhile. I think what we need to do then is just preserve them, because I don't have an abundance of them. I don't think he's going to be coming back to this area. I think he'll have seen the fact that obviously the Kitabutai is obviously it's within the area. It's within range. If he comes back, he is going to get smacked around. He's obviously seen the fact that we do have the H6K4s as well, that they're capable of destroying targets, and so that's quite good. I do wonder about the ships that we destroyed in the port in New Mail. I don't know what their purpose was. We've seen a couple of transports up and around the sort of area, so maybe they were there as decoys, something of that nature really. How many do you produce? Okay, we'll take a look actually. Let's go ahead and bring up the actual tracker. I think we're producing an okay amount actually. I think it might have been something crazy like 30 a month or something like that. Can we have a strike on his shipping on Fiji? When it comes to Fiji, I very much need to do reconnaissance beforehand before I can really consider any sort of raid. We know he's been more than likely reinforcing the area. We know he does have aircraft over there as well. So we'll do reconnaissance soon, but I'm going to focus my efforts on New Caledonia here at the moment. Okay, so aircraft production then. Go to simple, go to building. Okay, so I'm not building them at the moment. So we'll go to available. H6K4's okay. Yeah, when we're actually building them, I believe we produce about, yeah, we'd build about 30. Okay. I need to actually enable that production again, so we'll go back into the game here. Though, then again, is it really necessary? Right, okay, so you're not producing G4M1s, you're not producing H6K4s. We'll look at producing and non-producing. Okay. You are still repairing those, that's fine. When will we be getting the new models of Zeros? Not too long, actually. As far as it goes for ship upgrades, there's not tremendous amounts at the moment. Okay. This one I might consider increasing. We're not producing many of them. Which is fair, really. I suppose we don't use a huge amount. I'm producing more of these Dinas over here. Obviously, I do need more of those bad boys. Now, I might restart the production of the G4M1. I think they do use the same engine as the H6K4s. 33 engine. 32 engine, okay. What is that using the 33 engine then? Oh, the D301 valves, okay. As well as the G3M2s. Hello there, Sturm Gherkin. How you doing there, my friend? As well as the Jegs over here. I do have a lot of these Jegs. They are very good aircraft, though. Can you check your subchasers in Japan? Sure, is there any sort of concern that you have about them? HA35, of course, okay. That's good to hear, my man. I'm glad you're doing well. Okay. Now, do we build this again? Let's see. I suppose, in fairness, there's only one facility where I'm not producing them from, so I might as well enable it. We do need to get those pumped out there. I think what I'm going to do here, then, is... should we begin producing G4M1s again? I think we'll have everything turned on with the production here. And we start the production of the H6K4s for a time just to really try and save on the supply usage a little while ago. We've since had things really resolved in terms of actual supply usage. That was down to my misunderstanding of how stockpiling works, so things are running a hell of a lot smoother now. And this is why I've not really done any tutorials as yet, because it's like I just don't feel I have enough understanding of the game to really do it justice. Okay. I don't think it's going to be resupplying Bataan anymore. There's really no need for it. He's got his actual gunboats over here. Gunboats there. He's not going to be resupplying. The actual engine production issue should be resolved. Obviously, we're not going to be able to produce them quickly enough, but I'm going to keep producing them. We will be increasing the amount of engines, so that's fine. I'm just going to have it on for the time being. I'll probably get the H6K4 pulled back up to about 10, and then I'll turn that off again. It's about 4 at the moment. I'd like to have some more, so I can have the reserves, really. So we'll get that up to 10, and then we'll turn it off again, I reckon. And let's go ahead and actually take a look at our pool then, shall we? Aircraft and engine pool. So, what do we have in the pool here? I need 500 of these. If we can actually get 500 of these engines here, just basically 500 of any engine, you actually get an R&D bonus. Speaking of the zeros when we get them, I think we should have them. We'll have a look in a moment, but they shouldn't be too long. Maybe about 3 months or 6 months, something of that nature. Probably about 6 months, actually. We're doing well on the 1C production. Okay, so we do have a couple of these 1C Sallies in the actual pool here. So there's 8 G4M1s at the moment. Okay, what I'm going to do here then, I was initially going to have that force head down here into the Solomon Sea. And what I'm going to do instead though is actually have it link up with the actual landing forces. So I'm going to have it link up over here. The reason being I want to make sure that it's actually as well protected as possible. Now at the moment I do have the RO66 and the RO62. They're both on patrol here. What I'm going to do then, so you're patrolling this area. Let's see. I think I might just have them patrol here, have the submarines patrol at either side. So just clear that. Yeah, just patrol this area here. Basically what I want to do here then is just try to intercept anything that comes along this way really. Put them on absolute as well. You do have a little bit more fuel, so I'll have you patrol a little bit further. So Rabaul and just about that position there. So what I'll do then is have them there. Yeah, they're fairly low on fuel, but obviously they're not far from truck here. There's a subregion on your island near these. Are we talking about Luganville or...? Which one are we talking about here? So we have two around the Horn Island of the Torres Strait. You're patrolling there. You're patrolling there. You do have a nice amount of fuel there. What I'm going to do then is actually have you patrol. We'll say from... I could patrol around Darwin, perhaps. But I think I'm going to have this submarine actually operate in the Coral Sea longer. In fact, I might have it operate around Port Moresby here. Now, Port Moresby being a size 1 port, size 3 airfield, obviously worth a few victory points to us, which is going to be quite nice. And what we're going to do is, once we do take Moresby, well, Rabaul and Moresby, but I'm going to be taking control of Papua New Guinea. Gain some additional bases. Which would be quite handy. Gives us additional bases to really work from, and obviously move supplies or men to, or really whatever the hell we'd like. So I'm going to have it do then is patrol around Port Moresby. Yeah, so linger in that area. Have that a little bit further out. There we go. Yet we do have I-7 over here as well. Now, you were heading down this way. We'll have you routed as well. You have a lot of fuel here. And the best part is, you actually do have a search plane yourself, which is fantastic. So again, this is additional reconnaissance in the area for us, which is really very nice. So we'll have you patrol about here. Well, in fact, we'll start at about there. About there as well. I'm not kidding when I say that, yeah, this is going to be the most protected landing that we've had, really. So in the actual landing forces at the moment, THG still thinks you're going to attack Hawaii. He's probably right. Maybe one day we will attack Hawaii. We'll have to see. Okay, so we have to Kawanatago. Isuzu. How the fuck you say it? Yura. And you really need so many subs around Rabaul. I don't need them around Rabaul, but I'd rather have them around Rabaul for the time being. The reason being, we know what he's bloody like when it comes to raiding with cruisers. So I don't trust this area. I don't exactly have perfect information on what's in this area here. He could have something in Rabaul but I didn't know about. So we're going to make sure that we have no surprises, ideally. We do have a fairly effective force here. So we have the 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 destroyers. Yeah, but I must protect the Shinshu Maru. Must protect them. I do have the Awata Maru. It's the fact that I'm protecting this division as well. Need to protect them. So we'll have 2 heavy cruisers, 3 light cruisers, about 12 destroyers, 3 submarines in the area as well. I think he should focus in the west, hitting his tankers like he did last time. Well, the thing is, Carl, it's like we can only catch what's actually there. And the thing is, it's like if we don't find it, we don't find it. I do have the RO-33 over here as well. Now, you can't really be in position to aid next turn, but that's fine. RO-34 heading south as well. I do have the oiler over here. You're heading south as well. Okay, Satar. Or Satar. RO-65 and RO-60 are heading home. Well, they're heading to truck to go refuel. This force over here, obviously this was part of the force that was hit at Tarawa. Now, flooding is bad in the Montevideo Maru. But if they can make it back home, then at least they do have a chance of actually surviving and being put back into use in the future. And what do we have here? Interesting side. Can't upgrade it, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think I can upgrade or convert it with being a passenger ship, perhaps. At least not merchant. So that's a shame. Yeah, exactly. And what I'm going to do here to actually really bump up the security around the island is we do have our G3M2 now, so we also have our G4M1 Bettys over here. Now, no replacements from pool. Yeah, so you're your squadron maximum over here. So are you? You could do with a reserve here. Obviously get that back in there. So actually what we'll do here then is draw this from the actual reserve. So you'll be ready in 2 days. Okay. So what I'm going to do here then, due to the fact that we do have a decent amount of naval search in this area already. And we did see actually that if you do have search aircraft in the area, they can spot targets for actual naval attack aircraft anyhow. So that's always a nice little bonus there. So what we're going to do here then is they're currently operating at 17 hexes. Now that is just within range of Rabaul. Which, yeah... Yeah, so, I mean, it's one of these things, really. They're going to be able to bring torpedoes to the port itself, but obviously not really anything else there. I could have them push their range a little bit further, but obviously then they're just dropping bombs, aren't they? I think we'll have them operate at their maximum range, well, maximum normal range. Obviously to use the torpedoes. So if I don't do that, then we're not using torpedoes, and we're kind of putting ourselves in a bad position then. But we can have them really just patrol this area. At the end of the day, it's just additional security, and that's not a bad thing. It's not something I can say no to, really. Okay. Now to figure out how to set this, I wish there was a little thing that you could see here. Will you bombard Wenchao with the Fusos or ECs? Well, ECs. ECs? I mean, we could take the battleships bad there, that's true. It's not a massive priority, to be honest. It's not really even a priority. It's just something that is a pain in the arse. And in all honesty, I could just leave it there. And eventually it will starve, more than likely. But to be honest, I can just keep bombarding it. And I'm going to just keep bombarding it. And the battleships are going to stay with the actual baby Kinabutai for the time being. The reason being it gives them a lot of like surface compatibility, a lot of like backbone there. That, and we really don't know what he might have planned in the area, such as aircraft. So at least having some battleships that can ideally take a hit rather than the carriers would be worthwhile. Okay, start a little bit more. Okay. Right, now we're getting somewhere. Right, there we go. So, I could have them on basically all-day coverage in this area. "8,000 feet there. Okay, so I'm going to set all the G4M1s to do that. Okay, okay. So all the G4M1s, well, both squadrons there. They're going to be running 20% search, so there's quite a few planes that could be searching the area here as well. Now let's take a look. They're on low threat tolerance here at the moment. Excuse me. We'll go bombard it soon. Like, trust me, we'll go bombard that. It's just we don't know what is in that area for the time being. It's like a case from, well, in my opinion of, until we really know what to expect in the area, I'd rather go in there, over-prepared than under-prepared. When Chao, and in reality, it's not, yeah, I mean, sure, it would free up some divisions, but it's not a massive amount of force, and there's a decent amount of Chinese there. So, we'll eventually starve them. We'll eventually pound them into submission through just bombardment, if it's necessary. But obviously I'll move the battleships there when I get the opportunity to do so. And I will have, I do have a cruiser force, so what I might do then is potentially take them, but we'll see. We might do it now, but I'll have a think about it, really. I might take a battleship or 2 battleships, perhaps. We'll consider it, actually. After this, we'll take a look at it, but I might change my mind, actually. I'll see what I have to potentially escort them. Or we might wait until we have the cruisers actually go out and meet them from Kanran Bay, and then do it like that. We'll decide once we get there. I'm not saying it's a bad idea now. It's like I would like to bombard the actual city itself, don't get me wrong. Okay, I'll tell you what, we'll rethink how we use the mini Kiributai in about 5 minutes. Okay. Right. You're not running effectively. 50-50. How many of our... Okay. Okay, they can run night operations. Well, actually, what we'll do here... Right. 0-0. I'm gonna have you run reconnaissance over Rabaul. Now, this previous squadron, the ones running the night naval search, they're gonna still run night. But I'm gonna have them run reconnaissance. The reason for this is they'll actually act as spotters for the bombardment. So our bombardment should be more effective here, which is obviously what we want. I worry that it'll try to disrupt the landings. We're in an interesting position here. Like, if you take a look then. So obviously we can't move through these islands. So it's a very interesting position here. It's a bit of a choke point. Okay. So you have range to 4 hexes away. Rabaul's 6, so yeah, not really terribly large amount. They're not active at the moment. THG shouldn't have any BBs in that area at the time. He'll get some R-class BBs at this time, but the spawn, and I don't know, they're slow. Yeah, it's not battleships I'm concerned about. Okay. They're running my naval search, which is fine. You're running naval search, good. Could do another aircraft, actually, considering that we do have a reserve here. Never a bad idea. Okay. Now, the good news is that we will have the Mutsu. Yeah, Mutsu, Aoba. These destroyers over here, they're going to be setting out to sea tomorrow as well. So that's good news. They'll make some pretty good speed as well, actually. Okay, the G3s. Let's see. Yeah, the normal radius is about 15 hexes. So they're not within range of Rabal itself to actually carry torpedoes. I could still have them over the area, possibly to drop bombs again, maybe. I mean, is that really much use? I might just have them on naval patrol, to be honest, just for the time being anyhow. I could have them at 15 hexes. We don't know what could be potentially around this area, so it's probably not even a bad idea. Or of course I could even use them on the ground, bombing again, really. Yeah, they'd be carrying 500 kilograms of bombs each. It does put some strain on the actual aircraft, though. So it's one of those of, is it really worthwhile? Well, we can take the island without a shadow of a doubt, to be honest. Okay. I'm going to place them on naval attack, then. Have them about 8,000 feet. Okay. I'll have you on 20% naval search here. You're going to operate out to about 15 hexes. Yep, there we go. Right, there we are. So obviously that is out of range. So we're looking at about there. Really, so that's going to cover... Well, not quite cover Manus Island, but it'll cover this general little area over here. Hard to say really what could be in the water, so we'll have them run a bit more of a random search. Okay, still waiting on these engineers to arrive. Cannot wait for them to arrive. The good news is it's obviously going to bring another 2 destroyers over here, so that's very good. Hello there, Vulcan. How you doing there, my friend? Good to have you on the stream. Right, so we do have all of our patrol boats over here. They're not really doing much for me at the moment. So what I'm going to do here then... Yeah, you're very low in endurance. You've been somewhat damaged. Right, actually, what I'm going to do here then, so cancel that. I'm going to place them on a surface action. Okay, you're going to go in surface action? Okay. These guys are going to head over to truck. The reason why they're going to head over to truck is so I can actually use them as an escort. Well, really a further escort for any tankers moving over this way. So I'll replace at sea. Set our home port to truck itself. There we go. Right, very good. The AMC over here as well. So I do have a Chichijima special base force over there. What I'm going to do then... Pick up unit. Yeah, pick them up from Ponape. Okay. So they're going to go over there, pick them up. Now what I'm going to do then is actually set their home port to Roinema. There we go. Place them on retirement allowed, make... Yeah, threat tolerance low. There we go. So what they're going to do now is they're going to head over to the island of Ponape. They're going to go ahead and pick up the Chichijima special base force over here. So that's 1,258 troops there. Naval support, aviation support, some AA guns actually. Dual purpose guns actually, those are quite beefy guns. So that's quite good. We'll have that shifted over to Roinema. Which is going to obviously be a hell of a lot more useful than really there at Ponape. I mean, Ponape does have a use as another base as an intermediate. And I would like to build it up to a small degree. Okay, couple engineers over here. I mean, the question is, I'm building up the actual fortifications here. Is there really much use to that? I'm going to say no. We retain our progress on any construction, so it's not like we're going to lose out on that. What's up there, Major? How you doing, my friend? So you believe it's worth fortifying? I can understand that, actually. Or would we be better off expanding the port, but then again... Okay, sure, land units that can be upgraded. Actually, you know what, considering the fact that they really haven't... It's either that or the port, really. Terrible real estate. Okay, we'll go ahead and continue to fortify then. Did have missile area here. Build up the airfield gradually. Obviously, these engineers less than stellar. There's a lot of torpedoes there. I've either only just started building their airfield, or they're just really not putting many points in there. I'm going to have to get some more engineers out this way at some point. So what we'll do then is we'll build up structure size 7 base, and we'll start building up these other islands. The Japanese have the key bases at KYJ, Roinama. Yeah, indeed. Okay, that's very good then. Yeah, we're going to need force in the future. So yeah, we'll go ahead and continue to fortify then. Now over here, we are building fortifications, which is quite good. I do have about 13 engineers, which ain't bad at all, really. Plenty of supply there. Plenty of supply. Okay. Ooh, shock attack after landing. Wow, that's rather good, man. I wasn't aware of that. That's very good. Okay, these men are currently working on expanding the airfield over here. Could do would have been a size 2 airfield. Yeah, you're right there. Right, we are building up our fortifications here on Wake Island. Wake actually has a fair few engineers over here. And that 5th base force unit ain't bad at all. It's fairly beefy. To be honest, I might take... I don't know. Do I take that Naval Guard unit off of Wake Island and have them moved elsewhere? I think we will receive a Coastal Defense unit for Wake Island soon. At some point in the future, actually. But I suppose the Naval Guard is probably... I mean, this is it. And it's an important island. We can make... Well, this is it. It's taken on quite a bit more importance due to the fact that we hold on to Midway as well. I mean, Midway I'd like to fortify. Hold off on Wake, in my opinion. Yeah, see, this is it. It's like... I don't know. We could potentially split the SLF. I will double check anyway. No, I can't. Well, it's already been split apparently. Wake Island, Roinama and Trunk. Okay, fair enough. Alright, I see. Yeah, isn't it like some, I think they gave them, like, cruiser guns of some nature. Right, group reinforcement. So that's aircraft, sorry. Ground reinforcement. Pull the coastal defense guns off and send them back to Japan via good guns and waste on Wake. That's quite interesting, actually. I mean, you could have them potentially move to, like, Saipan or somewhere like that. I can understand the idea of Japan, actually. And to be honest, we could even, you know, we could even potentially have them shifted, possibly to the Kurils. Wake is over, so he's already over capacity. Whoops. Yeah. I might have that unit shifted out for the time being, man. I'd have to use transport aircraft for the most part. Or at least I could pick up an element of them. Your lone endurance. What we'll do then is when the AMC has finished transporting the Chichijima Special Base Force from Ponape to Roinama, we'll have them go pick up this force from Wake Island. Well, actually, you know what? We do have... The light cruiser over here. It's not low on supplies. It's using supplies. But it's not low. I can always fly more supplies in, really. Right, you're going to head over here to Wake Island to go pick that unit up. There we go. Obviously, it's not set to pick the unit up as of yet, but we'll do that once it arrives. $192. Now, the good news is obviously we have upgraded the aircraft. Yeah, we've upgraded the float planes aboard the Mutsu, so that's very good. So obviously they're going to take some time to be ready. About a day, and then another day for the other one there as well. Which is fine by me. Means that they'll have significantly longer reach there. Okay. I think I'm going to take one of these seaplane carriers and actually have one of them sent home to Japan. The reason being so we can actually enlarge our float plane squadrons. Now, we could do that. Then begin to actually... I suppose we can set up quite a few extra training squadrons, really. I mean, I was toying with that idea for a while. It's like, initially I did think it was sort of gamey, but it's like in reality, it is strange that you can't create new squadrons. When you have the aircraft and when you have the pilots. I can imagine you'd have to expand the administrative capacity, but I can imagine that is doable. I can't say it's like, oh no, we've got another 2 floatplane squadrons, however will the Japanese Empire cope? We'll be alright. We'll consider that one anyhow, we've got other stuff on our plate at the moment, and it's going to take a while for them. Okay, so these troops are penned in here, they obviously do need to load up. So I think we are waiting for them to be loaded up here. Okay. And each day that we dally here is risky. Okay. Now this unit isn't yet ready to move. It's going to be a day before it's ready. So what I'm going to do here then is I'm going to cancel this here. So cancel this. Right, low threat threshold, okay. What I'm going to have you do is actually move away from the island for the time being. Okay, retirement is not allowed. I'm going to have them move out for today, and then they can move back in. Do you have any training squadrons for Navy fighter planes? Yes, we do. Okay. These submarines are heading back. They're going to speed through this area anyhow, so that's not a bad thing for me. His naval search isn't exactly cracking at the moment. It is over here, however. Yeah, you're very low. Okay, return. I once defended Wake with the HEG detachment and a naval guard against a US division and an engineer regiment. Raw assault value was 120 Japanese to 450 American Navy. Okay, this is where it sounds really good. And a bloody division, like Jesus Christ. It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, well, yeah, okay. I suppose it kind of is the, well, it kind of ended up becoming the actual role of the Naval Guard. As well as the role of just pretty much the SNLF in general for the most part. The US Engineer Regiment was wiped out on assault and the division was mopped up a month or so later. Jeez, that must have been rough. Okay, so we've got the submarine set over here to patrol this area then. I don't think he's going to return there. I do have the actual cruisers heading down south. Now, do I want to be doing that? Because that is going to potentially put the Kinagusa. Well, actually, they're heading over this way, so yeah, that's fine. I can keep with that. They're moving here. Obviously to refuel the Kinabutai. I think what I'm going to do is actually have it a little bit further down there. The reason being, I want them in a nice dominant position here. They'd have range basically all the way out here. Obviously they're not going to remain in position. All these patrols are going to be headed to Bellap Island. And we'd have range, yeah. And this is it. We need to have a ample amount of air coverage here. I've got these forces set up, so they're still unloading with 3 destroyers escorting. And the 2 destroyer minesweepers are headed north. Got submarines over here. These 4 destroyers are patrolling this area here as well. So that's quite good. So at least we do have something that could potentially interfere with the enemy. Obviously the cruiser's heading down here. Okay. Keep in mind it was a rushed operation from the Allies and into coastal defensive guns, but forces were at level 5 and the Imperial Japanese troops weren't phased by the bombarding battleships. I like that. Okay, they're returning. They don't have a huge amount of fuel, so I really can't use them much where else. Yeah, they bloody well do, don't they? There we go. Right. Now the brilliant news is I can actually have supplies flown into Comac here, if I so wish to do so. I don't think I'm going to bother doing that. I'm going to have them stood down here for the time being. What are they looking like for the repairs? Okay, so a day until they're repaired, actually. Element of the Naval Guard over here. So I do have this unit here. Okay. I do have some element of the 61st Naval Guard here as well. Will you put the Jakes back on the Chitose? Not for the time being. Actually considering, do I move these men from Lucanville? I don't think it's going to be landed on Lucanville, is there? Well, is he, sorry. We do have Mines Protectors as well, obviously we do, yeah. I don't think it's going to be taking that sort of action. So I might have these men moved. I could have them flown over by transport, to be fair. Shizer. See, what I want to do here, then, what's the range? Range is 31. What is your range? Max range is 25. Normal range is 20. What's range? 20. How much do I need here? Required is 60. How much do you produce? 24. Okay, what I'm thinking here then, and what, yeah, this is what I'm going to start doing here. Okay, so, troop transport. I'm going to transport the 36. The reason being, obviously, I'm going to move this base force and probably the naval headquarters, well, the actual air flotilla headquarters over to this way. What I'm kind of thinking here at the moment, they would obviously be useful over here, but what I'm thinking here at the moment is let's choose our destination as Funafuti. The reason I'm doing this is so I can start transferring these actual, well, the actual aviation support over here to Funafuti. Right, 398 tons of supply here. How many engineers do I have on the island? Only 4. I'm going to begin work on expanding the airfield. Well, actually expanding it to an airfield. So I'll move some engineers over there. Of course, with these actual seaplane transports, I can do without the actual airfield. But what I want to do is actually get some engineers onto Savai. The reason for that is I'd like to try and build up some sort of naval search in this area. But I'll move these engineers to Funafuti, and then at least I can actually begin to build that up to a level 1 airfield. Eventually it'd be nice to have a level 2 perhaps. Level 1, level 2 is fine. Or we'll see what else is available at the time. But I'd like to get these engineers here for the time being. I could even potentially have them move over to Canton Island to begin to rebuild that. I'm just looking to actually expand on the naval detection network, really. That would be quite nice. Okay. That's fine. Now the troops at Comac, let's take a look at them. The base itself doesn't have a garrison requirement, so that's fine. Now, I mean, what I could do is I could potentially have all supply flown in here, but I don't think it's really worthwhile. We've got enough supply being dropped off here, there's no point bothering with Comac at the moment. When will you resupply from the Futin Canton? Well, they're not really doing anything to require much of the way of supply. Obviously, these engineers are going to be busy now, so they're going to start eating some supply. And what I'll do is I'll move that unit over and then move some supply over. So what we're going to do here then is... I mean, do I have these forces march down there? Is it even worth marching down there? Can I... Right. Can't split you up. Okay. I'll tell you what. What I'm going to do then is these men can remain here. I'm going to have them rest. How are they actually looking? 4:15, 5:18. Okay. What I'm going to do here then is actually rest these men. Once I'm finished over here, what I can do is actually grab maybe a patrol boat, maybe. I mean, I don't have the patrol boats over here. What can the patrol boats carry? You can't carry any. Yeah, what I'm going to be looking to do then is actually grab a ship. I'm going to say maybe a destroyer. Something small. Maybe even the destroyer minesweepers or something else that's quite light. And then I'm going to have them take the ground forces from Comac. What I want to do is have them put onto 3 different ships. And then what I want to do is actually have them set out to take Lord Howe, Norfolk, and Raoul Islands. If I can do that. If I can sneak in there and take control of those islands, that would be quite nice. It's all about trying to shut him down from this area. I mean, when it comes to Fiji, we're going to take a note out of the Americans' book of handling things. I'd like to try and establish a actual float, well, some sort of reconnaissance presence on Savai, something able to actually run aircraft. It would be nice to actually have the ability to do so. Savai itself actually having a level 1 airfield as well, which is quite nice. Indeed. I think in some ways the way we might approach this is there are islands nearby that are quite nice. Like, for example, could maybe take one of these islands, or even take these islands. Just one, I don't think I need to bother taking them all. So I'm going to say probably that one for the time being. Or even potentially this one over here. There's a few options. But I think the way we're going to approach the situation is... So I'm going to try and fly some engineers over here. What I'd like to do then is fly these engineers down here to Savai. So I'd like to establish some float planes or some sort of reconnaissance asset down here at Savai. The reason being, I want to do some... Well, I want to reconnoitre Pago. Because I think that might be the island I do hit first. It depends, honestly it depends on really what sort of garrison he might have there. But what I want to really use against him is the fact that he might perhaps reinforce Suva and Nardi to the detriment of the other islands in the area. And of course, there's other islands that we haven't taken a look at, but I think this is what I'd like to do. I mean, if I can take control of Pago, we'd actually gain a size 2 airfield, a size 2 port, I believe. Yep, size 2. It is a nice island. And obviously then we'd be operating from this area. Something like that. I want to try and surround the island. And then obviously if we could try and take Lord Howe, Raoul Island, and Norfolk Island. Obviously it's not cut off, but it is somewhat surrounded with Japanese presence. And the thing is, it's not exactly like gonna doom the island to a quick demise if we surround it per se. But it does give me options, and it does deny him potential bases and potential safe havens. It's just really trying to deny him the ability to run reconnaissance to a degree. Obviously, it gives me the ability to run reconnaissance on those islands. We know that he has B-17s operating around this area, B-17Es, which is rather intriguing. The interesting thing is he hasn't been using them for some reason or another. He has a level 3 airfield over here. Level 1 here. Now, I don't know if B-17s require a certain level of airfield to actually run their operational, well, sorry, their offensive missions. I'm not entirely sure on that one, so I'm not going to speculate. But that might be like a potential reason for it. But it looks as if he's had them potentially run in reconnaissance to a degree, which is intriguing. I mean, I can imagine he knows roughly what we have. We know he's been running reconnaissance over Savai, over Luganville for quite some time now. That's without a doubt. Okay. The good news is we will have some troops land here next turn, which is very good. Obviously, they'll do so under the cover of the Kidabutai. Right. I'm going to tell you to remain on station. I want you to be in the same hex as the Kidabutai. Decent bit of fuel there. It'll keep the Kidabutai going for some time as of yet. Some of these ships could do with some time just to have some repairs carried out. We'll be looking about halfway to 1942 before we can actually upgrade Vishakaku. Obviously having control, well, having that radar would be quite nice. But indeed, I think what I'm going to do here then is ensure that New Caledonia is taken. Need to ensure that happens. I do want to get the shipping out of there then. I think what I'd like to do is maintain a small amount of shipping nearby perhaps. Perhaps some on the island of New Caledonia. But most likely, possibly at Tulagi or another base. I'm looking to, or maybe even Rabaul perhaps, somewhere nearby to a degree. I mean, obviously that's not too nearby. But what I'd like to do is actually potentially just use the actual aircraft to move things around. The reason being, well, there's less for him to actually target there then. It's all about having control of the skies around here. If you control the skies, you can control the sea, really. Which is very handy for us. But New Caledonia, the reason for it is just to deny it to him, but obviously to give us the ability to actually project control of the skies around here. But yeah, I think once that's done, I'm going to move pretty much all those ships out of the area, take what's not needed, basically. But I think I will have the Kidabutai, more than likely, raid Brisbane, raid Sydney. And then I think we'll turn them around and have them potentially head north. We did see, but then again, we did see he had a cruiser force that was initially heading in this direction. So I think he's looking to try and take focus up along this way. Which is what we saw. Now, we do have naval reconnaissance out here, well, float reconnaissance over here, which is okay. It's not exactly spectacular at the moment. But yeah, it's the reason why these submarines are going to move into this area. It's the reason why we're using the light cruiser and the 3 destroyers to actually reinforce this force as well. Bringing up to 2 heavy cruisers, 3 light cruisers, and 12 destroyers. I can't take risks, and I don't want him to actually be able to bloody drive us off. Indeed. I don't know what it's going to do. It does bloody well worry me as well. I don't think we need to worry that much, but yeah. We're going to have the actual float, well, the actual naval bombers running Overwatch over the area. So at least that is something. Okay. So I'm actually pretty much happy with this area then of the Pacific. I think this is more or less running as we need it to. Do I have room for these actual G3s over there? I would say probably. Quite a few reserve there. Yeah, about 1 split up there. Chichosi. KUK, 1 detachment G4M1s. Bloody different aircraft and bloody different command. Right. What I'm going to do then is have them transferred to truck. Right, 2 of them were somewhat damaged on the way over. Yeah, still good. I mean, I could use quite a few of those G3 M2s to potentially bomb Rabaul, but I don't think the resistance there is strong enough to really necessitate that. But then again, it might not be a bad idea to do that. It might not be just a bad idea just to like throw it out there. I don't think there's much of a risk to our actual aircraft. But then again, I don't know what he has there, so no. We did it once, we got away with it. If there's something there that can attack them, it probably would attack them the next turn. And we'll be hitting it in the night as well, so yeah, that's fine. We'll leave that as is. I'll have them run the same mission as the other G3M2s for the time being. Yeah. I don't expect them to be doing anything really in this turn, but while we are doing this, I do want to try and make sure I have somewhat control of the area. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Happy with these guys. They're heading back now. I-124. Okay. There is 10,000 tons of repair shipyard there. We'll have them head to Saigon. Which is only 1,000 tons anyhow. Yeah, so head over that way. Have you repaired, brought back into service in time. You don't quadrillion. Yeah, you're heading back. You are damaged. But you're the closest thing over here. So you are going to have a shot of the actual heavy cruiser, really. And then you will retire. Get the hell out. So in fact, what I'm going to do then... Your home port. I need to get the fuel to the quadrillion. But yeah, your home port's going to be truck. So once you're done with that, return. Bellap Islands, Tulagi. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Now, I did say I would go over this one with the mini Kido Butai. God damn it, I kept saying that wrong. Hello there, Sean. How you doing there, my friend? Okay. What we're going to do then... Now, considering the fact that I'm going to be taking the 48th Division from over here in the north, I'm going to have them head north. How goes the war against the commies? Well enough as it can be expected, really. Yeah, so they're going to head north. I'm going to have them head a little bit further away from Bataan. Thank you very much there, Racer. That's really appreciated. Yeah, I mean, it's why I spend a long time doing these streams, is because it's like I do them from start to finish, really. It's like you guys see absolutely every bloody fort, whether it's right or wrong, really. And in my opinion, I think it's how I learn. And it's like, I hope you guys can help, well, hopefully you guys learn from it as well, which is cool. Indeed. So yeah, we're going to have them return off. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to detach the Fuso, Yamashiro, Isi, and Hayuya. A lot of firepower. I'll have them detached. The reason being, I do have these cruisers over here at Cameron Bay. They can head out and actually meet up with the Rikurupatai. I'll tell you what, I might actually have all of their search aircraft upgraded, if I can actually do so. Okay. How many can I actually carry on this ship? 3, okay. Chokai 1 and Chokai 2. A little bit irritating that I can't have, like, Chokai just 1, please. And I might actually be able to afford them together, actually. I'm going to have to check that. Okay. Right, I'll double check that. So I was just sending a friend some money over PayPal. He's just putting a bloody Facebook group talking to me to lend me some cash. It's like, for fuck's sake, fine. Okay, how about you run a day? There we go. Overflow planes on this hex. I should run those options then. That's fine. Okay. So, that's good then. We'll go through the others. Now, I could get them in reserve, but I don't think we have bloody reserve space for reserve. Right. Jakes and Pete's. I'm gonna give them the Jakes. What's the next move against the American scum? I mean, to be honest, we've just got to persecute the actual... Well, I mean, we'll be landing at Rabaul tomorrow. So that's going to be good. I'd like to hit that button, please. Thank you. Yeah, we'll be hitting Rabaul tomorrow. We've reinforced... Well, we're going to reinforce the actual raid there. The cover force of Rabaul is currently 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, and 9 destroyers. We're going to be sending over another light cruiser, 3 destroyers, which will bring the number up to 2, 3, 12. We have the G4M1s from truck running naval attack over the area. So on another, I don't know, we'll say about 50 or so aircraft. And the G3M2s don't have range, but they are running naval attack a little bit further around. Well, a little further out. So, yeah. We also do have 3 submarines there as well. Alright, there we go. So, I mean, we're trying to do as much as we can, but we've got 2 submarines already on station. There's a 3rd one nearby. So, yeah, total's going to be, I don't know, maybe about 50 aircraft or so that can actually cover the area. Maybe 50 to 60. 2 heavy cruisers, 3 light cruisers, 12 destroyers when the others arrive. 3 submarines. Yeah, should be decent enough. There we go. Just trying to make sure that they don't die. I'm looking forward to these heavy cruisers having the superior search planes, actually. The thing is, I can always use these search planes as, like, training models. There we go. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I think either way, we're not gonna be caught out, ideally this time. If at all possible, really. So try and do our bloody best. You can't have one. That's a shame. Okay, there we go. So now they've all had their search aircraft overhauled. So what I'm going to do then is have you head out to meet the Minikidubutai. So you're on surface combat. They are on what's the air combat. So 20 ships here, so they can't really merge. That's fine. What I'll do then is actually have it sorted out. So I'll have a escort formed for the actual battleships. And then what we're going to do is really run a 4-round bombardment force. I could potentially have them... well, let's see here. They are... I could just have them rearm at Nagasaki, more than likely. Rearm at Nagasaki, do the run again. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of firepower that's going to be descended on Wenchao, which is going to be quite good. And that's what we need. We'll use that firepower from the actual battleships then to break them. Really speed up the actual siege there. The reason why I've considered doing this is the fact that, yeah, what we can do as well then is we can actually escort the forces from Pescadores, once we obviously have, this force as well is going to head over here to Pescadores. We'll be able to form up the 48th Division. So what I can do then is form up the 48th Division, and then begin to move down here to the south. It's about 9 days until we do have a Shoho. I don't know. It's like, yeah, I'll be detaching the battleships, and obviously I'll be having the light carriers go around here. So then obviously I'll be able to escort in the 4th Division personally with carriers. As well as the 48th Division as well. So we'll be able to look after both divisions really. Which is nice. At least in that fashion. That'd be nice. Watch there be a random battleship of Rebel. I'd be impressed. Yeah, the Prince of Wales just turns up. But then again, the Prince of Wales, it might do some damage, but Jesus Christ, that is a lot of ships over there. I mean, the 12 destroyers would destroy that thing. Not to mention the actual naval aircraft would actually have a field day. But yeah, should be overwhelmed, I'd imagine. And torpedoes are bloody deadly. Okay, I've got you heading, right, yeah. Okay, so they're heading to Hong Kong for her to undergo repair. You're heading back to Camdan Bay to basically rearm and drop off these actual, cargo ships, really. I had luck last night. Well, I had luck last night, actually. I had luck on the actual turn, and I'm not going to complain about that. That bit of luck there really did save our asses. Okay. Right, let's see. I'm looking to take additional resources back to Japan. But again, these transports can remain here, as I'll use them to actually ferry troops over to some March event soon. And so what I'll do then is actually disband the task force for the time being. You're currently loading troops, they're going to be heading to Kuantan, okay. You're just kind of chilling at the moment, it seems. I could have them patrol around here, but then again, yeah, it might be tempting fate, but then again, his bombers look to be elsewhere. Okay. I'll have them dismount for the time being. Yeah, you transported over the actual airborne forces then, so they did an excellent job. Again, they're going to remain here. I'm going to keep them there, because once we're able to actually begin to move troops amphibiously, I'm going to use them as basically our, well, escorts, really. So we know he has a few bombers over this way. I'm going to imagine more than likely those will be the Blenheims. Possibly the torpedo bombers. Okay, a little bit over at the moment, but that's fine. You're an escort over here, okay. of 5082, which is obviously this hex over here. 5082, yeah, there we go. So that's good then. Add an additional escorts over to this area over here then. It's going to be one of those things. Is he going to potentially run his fighters over there? But I think what I'm going to do then, on the off chance he actually does run his fighters, I'm going to have the Ki-48 stand down for the time being. Or I might even have them change to a different target, perhaps. But no, I'm going to have them stand down for the time being. I could even begin to move them up elsewhere. And there's always the opportunity to potentially move them over here to Marie. Right, I'm going to stop building the fortifications for the time being. I'm going to stop expanding the port for the time being. I'm going to have them focus on expanding the airfield. Now, the airfield does have quite a bit of room there. And what are we looking at in terms of actual aviation? Plenty, actually. So what I might do here then is actually have the Ki-48s actually moved over to this way, over to Borneo, perhaps. I could use them to potentially bomb Singkawang and begin to maybe even bomb these airfields down here, perhaps. Then again, it might just invite him to bomb my own airfields. They could be shifted to the north, potentially, to help against operations in Burma. And they could be shifted elsewhere. I think... I could always hit the airfield of Johobru, but that's not going to be any good for me. I think what we're going to do then for the time being is have them stood down. Yeah, just stand them down for the time being. Okay, we no longer need to do that. Okay, just have them... Ooh, God, that scared me there. Thank you very much there for the follow, Subtonic. Really appreciate my friend. Okay, I'm going to have them just train for the time being. So their aircraft are buggered. Okay, you're running naval search at the moment. Quite a few of them are actually doing that, so that's not a bad thing. Okay, continue to do that. You're in reconnaissance of Singapore, but obviously you can't do that. So we'll have you train. The things I've done to them is horrendous. I really wish I'd looked after them more when I first started the game. I've got a couple of these guys in the reserve pool. You're at 9, okay. So technically you do have them all. What I'll do then is I'll take that from reserve, draw it from there. Obviously then it'll actually put into service in a few days. The development of wonder weapons that will win the war. Yeah, indeed. Okay. So I'm going to give them the reserves over here. They're currently training, which is fine. Singora, Bangkok, and Singora. Okay. What I'm going to do then is actually have them move to Bangkok. Reform the actual squadron. Thank God they're on rail lines, I can actually move them without them even being able to move so themselves, which is an important thing. As we'll have them reformed in Bangkok, and I'm going to use them to actually patrol this area. Now, there's a few ships over there. Quite a few ships. I can't afford to attack that without fighter support. I mean, there is a lot there. But we're not in range. Like, unless I was able to fly from Bangkok. But I can't at the moment. I mean, I can't fly. I mean, I could. But I don't have torpedoes, there's really no point. Now, I do have the 5th Air Division over here. These guys are useful. Right, up that to 100. Whoops, not the 10 to 100, I mean. Right, there we go. What I'm going to do with these guys is I'm going to have them flown over to the Philippines via air transport. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to look... We'll have this air flotilla either in Manila or maybe Naha, one of these other large air bases around here. Maybe even down here somewhere on one of these islands, even Cebu perhaps. But on one of these islands, I'm going to place one of these actual naval, well, these air headquarters. The reason being I want to be able to project these G3M2s into the Celebes Sea and into the area below, really. I mean, of course, yeah, I don't know, I might move a single squadron over there, I might move both, but I think for the time being, I'd like to try and work on that. Because at the moment, I don't have that capability. So that's what we're going to do, we're going to start moving that over. I could even potentially help them subdue Bataan, but we'll see. Speaking of Bataan, these guys are training, that's fine. These guys are still on ground attack. $11 auxiliaries. Okay, what we're going to do is actually hit the airfield at Cebu. It doesn't have much in the way of guns there. So 10,000 feet. I'll lower it to about 8,000 feet. All level bombers are going to hit Cebu. Right. So you do have range to reach Cebu. So that's fine. Have them up about 20,000 feet. Yeah, he has 11 auxiliary aircraft over here. I'm praying that they're actually PP-wise. That would be fantastic. These men are marched from Bataan. That's good. Yep, so they're going to go do that. What I want to do is really take control of this area. Let's take a look. I do have you over here. You're never obviously going to repair, are you? I'm going to have you return to Tokyo. I might potentially use them to potentially, I don't know, maybe mine additional bases, but I'd rather her in Tokyo than here. She's not doing anything here. There's a lot of transports there. Okay. What I'm going to do here then is going to grab these guys. I'm going to have them move down here to Naga. And I think I said Naha earlier on. I was thinking of Naha over on Okinawa. Obviously that was completely wrong. Yeah, so these guys are going to move down there. That's going to be good. It's going to give us additional lift capacity then to move the 4th Division, which will be ready to begin moving from tomorrow, really. So that's going to be great. So from tomorrow I can begin to actually seriously consider where we're going to move them. Now, we might have to... We could potentially wait 2 or 3 days for light carriers to be on station from the Mini-Kitabutai. Which ain't a long time to wait, really. Because at least if I do wait that, we'll probably have... I mean, I could potentially wait for the 48th Division as well to move down south. It might be better to do that than have... Yeah. And this is it. For the 2, 3, 4, 5 days, whatever you want to call it, for the week I might say for moving them now, it might mean the difference between life or death for a couple thousand men. I mean, we don't know what sort of aircraft he might in that area, well, have in that area, or what sort of tricks he might have. We've already seen the light carrier Hermes of the Royal Navy. It's probably around about this time, or sometime in the near future, that he's going to receive another British carrier. So there will be possibly 2 Royal Navy carriers. So we do have to bear that in mind, so... If we're making a big push in that area, I'd like to make sure that it is well protected. We could potentially pull off fast transports in the meantime. We'll see. And when we attack the British base in northern Borneo, this one over here, I was waiting for them to actually recover, but to be fair, I think they'll be okay. Yeah. I'll have them go for a deliberate attack now, actually. They do have a decent amount of plan in here as well. So that should be quite good. So there we go, attack Balfour. Okay, you're going to head out there to meet up with them. They're loading resources at Saigon. You're taking them north. He's still loaded at the moment. I need to find a patrol boat here. I'll tell you what, then. Remain here. I can move some patrol boats over from Kotobaru. Yep, so remain on station, keep on loading. I've got some patrol boats around here. And it's like I've got these 3 aircraft tenders. Like, what the hell am I doing with those? I need to get them the hell out of here and into the Pacific. The Royal Navy carriers don't carry that many planes. No, they don't, but then again, you only need 1 shot to really cause any sort of damage, really. You can, well, this is it. It can only take one. It can take 1 shot to destroy a carrier. And it can take 1 shot to do really any number of awful things. So that's what we need to be prepared for. Okay. Right. You go escort that force. I'm going to get these aircraft tenders out of this area. There's no reason for them to be here. I'm going to get them sent to the Pacific where I can actually make use of their skills. Or even up to the Urals to a degree. Possibly the Urals. Right. Head up here. Yeah, I mean, this is it. I've been doing jack all with these guys, so I need to get them moving. Can you send some sub-chasers to Miri? Now, the thing with Miri is he does have bombers on Singkawang. The thing I want to avoid is... I mean, this is it. We haven't seen him really use them over there. When we do actually begin to move oil from there, then I'll send them. But I'd like to remove any sort of enemy air presence nearby just on the off chance he might obviously go for a naval attack or a port attack. I don't want to lose ships when I'm not transporting oil now. The ships that are here are going to be pulling back shortly anyhow, under escort. I mean, what I could do with these ships is I could have them patrol elsewhere, or maybe even around Indochina, to be honest. So we do have a lack of patrols in this area. So we'll have them sent to Saigon. Start running patrols around here again. Okay. Is there actually a garrison requirement here for Patani? There isn't. Jesus, I've been expanding that airfield. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay. That's a complete waste of resources, huh? Indeed. And can you bomb Sinkawang from Miri? I could, but the thing is, I don't want to do that as of yet. We'll deal with this situation here first, and then we'll begin to do this. And because what I'm really thinking here at the end of the day is, focus our air efforts over here. Then we'll start moving it and looking further afield. This isn't going to be too important unless I really put something that it can cause damage to. Now there's like 3 AA battalions over here, or 3 AA units over here anyhow. So at least it does have some decent protection. Okay. That's a lot of vehicles as well. To be honest, that progress is still there, so if it's ever needed at any point of the war, at least it is there. But it was a waste of supply for the time being. What I'm going to do then is actually march them to Singora. We can move these engineers elsewhere then. They're marching north. What I'm going to do then is actually turn down the number of bombers hitting that unit this turn. I'm going to turn it down to about 2 squadrons. The reason being, he may send his combat air patrol this turn. So I'm going to send 2 squadrons of bombers, which is still a decent amount of firepower that's going to be raining down on them. Obviously what we're trying to do at the moment is just cause some disruption there. And it doesn't look as if he's moving his troops anyway, so we don't need to worry about that one. He's also got them there as a blocking force. Oh, actually, no, he's saying that. He's actually got them moving right now, hasn't he? Yeah, they're moving. Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll hit them again. We're moving on. Yeah, he's definitely trying to get the hell out of here now. Okay. At least we can begin marching immediately as well. It is jungle to jungle. He's moving from, I think, jungle as well, so we'll probably be able to trap this force over here, which is better than nothing. But at the end of the day, it doesn't particularly matter at this point. All that matters is obviously that we reach Johor Bahru and we'll form up, have the men rest, and yeah, then we cross into Singapore and cross into hell. It's a shame that we didn't catch that force out in Malaya, but unfortunately the jamming git had some delays for us. So it was a shame. And it did mean that, well, I mean, this is it. At the end of the day, we will destroy those men anyway. And once we destroy those men, the British aren't exactly much of a threat in this area. Not for a long time. So that's fine. It's all but inevitable. And he'll know that. Okay. Right. So I'm going to begin to use these forces over here then. And you're doing reconnaissance of bloody nothing here. Naval search. Just do training. They're both in training. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, we restarted everything. At least it should be anyway. Gonna run reconnaissance over here. Yep, so everything's producing again for the time being. I want to actually see how the system copes with all the resources, supplies, etc. moving about and what's demanded. I want to make sure that it actually gets the requirements right. Okay. So I'm sending that regiment north. Now, do I do that or do I send one of these mixed brigades? I'll send one of those mixed brigades, actually. It's a stronger force anyway. So we'll have it head down there. Engage the enemy and destroy it. Now this unit's going to move down there. These men are going to move here. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, what I might do is have these forces actually move down here. Well, not that far, but potentially move down here. Block off this, this Chinese force over here. So at the moment, I'm moving my unit over there. As you can see, there's a dot base there. So I'll take control of that, and then that shuts off all these roads. And there will be no more supply making its way out here. So that will cut them off. But yeah, what I'm thinking is, obviously, we do have a large force over here. We do have more men on the way too, I believe. Or will be on the way from Loyang. But what I might be able to do then, as we do have this force which is moving up, I could have these forces really sort of join them in this area. Obviously block the road here, but then ultimately move on to this area so I can actually concentrate further force against this. Or we could even begin marching onto Kuelin. It's really unknown, because we're going to have these forces which are going to be marching onto Changsha itself. But what I'd like to do then is, while he's focused on trying to defend one of these cities over here, is I try and just flank him over here and just go up. Like, basically just ram the divisions up here to the north. Which is obviously where they need to be. We'll see. But I'll have them move there. I want to cut his forces off over here from retreat. And then we can destroy them. Which would be quite good. Okay. I mean, in reality, the plan at the moment is the 38th is going to march on here. This regiment's going to be marching to this position here to block this road. So with that road block there, what I can do then is obviously have the division take control of this, and then this unit over here, well, this base over here at Nanning is going to be all on its own. I could then potentially have the division march over here to Nanning to take Nanning, which is probably not a bad idea. Or we can even have it potentially march up north to take this base over here. Really put the pressure on him. We'll see. What I want to do here then is force him into a position where he's having to reinforce this section. This section. More than likely. And this is what I predict his response to be. Which is why we do need to keep somewhat of a fluid presence up north. He's, as we're down here in the south, he's more than likely going to be pushing, like, on this area here. That's what I imagine he's going to be doing. So I'll try and keep a decent strength of force over here. But in reality, I don't think you'll be able to take these cities, unless you commit a serious amount of power there. I don't think you'll be able to take it in any sort of quick, sharp fashion, really. But even if he was to take these cities over here, for example, which I seriously doubt that he could do, it would be something of a small setback, but it wouldn't be critical. It'd just be a small setback. Well, in reality, if we march up over here to Chongqing, that is fatal for the Chinese, or more or less fatal for the Chinese. So it's one of these, isn't it? It's the Japanese doctrine of they cut your flesh, you cut their bone. And that's what we're going to be trying to achieve here. Okay. Yeah, we have a hell of a lot more in the way of patrol boat coverage now, which is good. Yeah, thank God this is mined. Also mined here. Very good. Yeah, so he's not going to find it easy to move through here. He can attempt to move through here, but obviously he's going to be running into the potential mines. We are moving some additional oil into Japan here at the moment. And it's only about, what, 5,000 units of oil, but still, it's oil. Hey, we can use that shit. So it ain't bad, you know. It ain't bad. Have it sent to where it needs to be sent. What we're going to be doing here, then, is in reality... That reminds me, I actually need to put that combat report onto the replay. Yeah. What we're going to be doing here, then, is all the oil that is produced in this area is we're going to have it head to Japan. And I could potentially have some of... It's like if I do have refineries that are still producing the Dutch East Indies, that's all well and good, that's cool, I'm not going to complain. But yeah, everything needs to head back to Japan anyway. It doesn't matter if we have fuel in Borneo, if the industry in Japan is dying on its arse. That's the plan. I think we're in a very interesting position at the moment. I think our general pace is beginning to really pick up. I think we're scoring solid victories to a degree now. I think the luck last night by New Caledonia, and it was luck to a degree, it's going to lead to something superb, really. We've had a lucky break there. We had a very, very lucky break. And with that lucky break, we'll be able to take the island New Caledonia. From there, the forces that I previously had written off will be able to move elsewhere. I can begin to move operations to the south, capture Raoul, Lord Howe, Norfolk Island. Well, Rabaul shall fall next turn, ideally. Some days later, Port Moresby will join it, and with that we'll have pretty much solid control of the Coral Sea. And then further south, we'll be moving engineers to Funafuti, with plans to eventually move them to Savai. We'll soon be able to actually base naval bombers down south. I had hoped I could do it now, but I don't think I'm able to actually run the naval... Well, I don't know, maybe. But either way, we could do with larger airfields. But we do have the Ki-43s down there now, which is quite nice. At least we do have some combat patrol. I would like to shift up another squadron of army fighters to the front, i.e. to the marshals. I think in reality it wouldn't be a bad idea just to have some additional combat patrol on tap, if you so will. So we'll see what sort of squadron is actually able to potentially do that. Yeah, here we go. These guys over at Bangkok are the next most experienced. These guys are Canton, San Fernando. Take a look at the 77th Sentai. Good experience in there. Very good experience. At the moment, they're basically wasting their time. Okay, so I only have 18 of them at the moment. That's fine. What I'm going to look to do here then is have another squadron of 42 Ki-43 1Cs. And the beauty of that is I could split that squadron up and potentially cover more areas. In reality, our strength here in the Marshals is the fact that I have an airfield here, an airfield here, 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 just fucking everywhere, basically. That is a beauty. And then if we can try to coordinate against a single target out here. The American air power is mighty. The American Navy is mighty. But in reality, they can concentrate on one target at a time, for the most part, with any sort of degree of strength. I mean, of course, they could hit multiple airfields, but obviously they are lessening, they're diluting their strength. See, the beauty is of an island, it's not going to sink. An aircraft carrier can, and indeed it will sink, if they come to the marshals. So, the good part here as well, it would be a shame to lose fighters, it'd be a shame to lose any pilot, really. But if I can try to actually give cover, I mean, the actual role of fighters out this way in the marshals is they're not going to be running toe-to-toe fights with the enemy combat air patrol fighters from the actual carriers. Their job really is to run escort for the actual naval bombers. Their job is to give their lives to the Emperor, so that the actual holy torpedoes from the Adeptus Ministorum can strike the hull of the vengeful spirit. I think for the most part we are mostly done here. Now what I need to do is actually move engineers from Fusan. So let's see here. Rashin is a level 3 port. Not bad. What I might do here then is actually take a look at the engineers that could be freed up from here. Have some actual transport sent over here. And then I'm going to have these actual engineers shifted out into the Kurils. I'd like to begin building this area up ASAP. If I can build this area up with a solid airfield, then it is going to be extraordinarily hard for him to really counter me. Now, we did see enemy submarine activity around here. Okay. Not long until they're ready. Right. Thank you very much, therefore. Ah, they do indeed. I know somebody who would be proud. I'd like to get these orders out here, actually. Okay, here we go. Right, I'm gonna grab these guys. Head to Fusan. And it's one of these things I could have them move via rail all the way up over here. But it's going to take a while, isn't it? So we'll take that. We do have a lot of patrol boats in this area. Well, that's very happy coincidence that we do have 2 destroyers that are idling, so we'll get them in action. There we go. Yeah, so we'll have them pick up these engineers over here, so they can continue as they are for the time being. There's a lot of engineers. Okay, that unit needed elsewhere. They're just too good to deny in China. Well, we'll have the bombardment from the battleships in a few days. It'd take a very long time for any sort of bombardment to arrive from Shanghai. I think I had some engineers sent down this way. We'll double check on that. I think I'll move these 4 engineer units down that way. Yeah. Yeah, we'll move those engineers down there. 4 units of engineers should actually be able to break that. So a lot of AA I need to move elsewhere. I've got a 4th mortar there. Okay, we'll move that 4th mortar. Hey, like, why the hell not at this point in time? I could have it move via strategic transport, but it'd probably take just as long to freaking march there than it would to go via rail. In some ways, obviously it's less time, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, book it. I'll have it move via rail. It's either that or march like 230 miles. I know which one I'd prefer. There we go. You're marching back to Shanghai. Or at least you will be sent back to Shanghai to recover. Yeah, it doesn't cost me much just to keep the bombardment up. And I can draw on supplies, he can't. Nowhere for him to draw them from. So that's quite good. Unfortunately, he did take this base back, which is why we need to move this unit over here. Basically, that would nullify all this. Yeah, I'm just waiting for this unit to be loaded up over here now. Not many of them left. That's fine. I know it's going to seem a little bit overkill, but to be honest, I'm actually going to have the destroying minesweepers merge into that force for the time being. The reason being is a lot of men on board, on board there. I don't really want to lose them. So, bugger it. If it means that, I mean, they're not doing anything there anyway, so that's fine. Mechanexus is just a bloody escort for the time being. At least they're doing something useful then. I'd rather that. Okay, loan has been completed here. So I need to find some actual escorts here. Okay. BBAV. I do have some sub-chasers up there. Yeah, we'll look at that shortly. God, they're short-ranged. Right, head over that way. Yeah, indeed there, Paul. You can't possibly overcommit. Right, we'll have them escort them in there. And these troops will be ready to move out shortly. We've got guns and AA, really. It's bad that thinks maybe do I have it committed to China, but then again, there's enough force in China to take control of China, so there's no need. I can have it sent elsewhere. Shame these rail lines aren't bloody connected. I really wish they were. But oh well. Right, I'll go ahead and take a look at the units that I potentially upgrade. At the moment, it's AA and engineers. Some infantry. Well, actually, no. Yeah, it looks like some infantry. Okay. I'm not going to upgrade the engineers in the moment because there's no need to. I'm only going to upgrade the units I need or want upgraded, to be fair. The vast majority of stuff I don't mind keeping a hold of, really. Okay. So I think for the most part we are done with the turn. I'm going to have this unit sent to Haichao. The reason being I'm going to unload it over there. We'll go ahead and finally kill that war area headquarters, because they're probably just corpses at this point in time. That's a very spread out force there. Actually, you know what? Hello there, Apollo Potato. Not doing too bad, actually. We had a really solid turn last turn. So it's been really... well, this turn, actually. We're just about finishing up, really, for the turn, to be fair. Good, these guys will arrive soon. Tell them to replenish at sea while they have the opportunity to do so. Okay, so some extra... patrol boats there. I'm gonna have this thing actually based over here at Torahara. Cannon and Admiral. Okay, we'll actually have them move up the coast there bit by bit. But yeah, I'll get some gunboats up over that way. I mean, what we're doing at the moment is having the H6K4s over here. They're transferring the actual 11th Air Flotilla over here to Bihoro. The reason for that is obviously we want to actually be able to launch torpedoes in this area. But what we're going to be doing then is we're moving... well, we're moving actual transports to Fusan. We're going to grab some engineers. And we're going to begin to fortify these islands over here. Well, build up an airbase. I mean, this is a prime suspect for an actual airbase. There's some others as well. But we'll build up the area of the Kurils. And in reality, it's not going to be a bad thing. We'll build up an actual airbase, well, an actual base of some sort of nature. And then at least it's giving us security there to the Sea of Okost. Okost. Well, like, okay, Host. Host, however the fuck you pronounce it. And then as well, it does mean that we do have a more established forward base to begin then operations against the Aleutians in March. So I think all in all, we've done our round trip across the Empire here. I'm looking forward to seeing Rabal fall tomorrow. That should be good. We do have a fairly able commander in charge, so that's not too bad. These guys moving into forward with them, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so if we take a look over here then. We have 114 naval bombers here at the moment. So we have both G3... well, yeah, we have all of these squadrons on naval patrols at the moment next turn. So that's good. The G4 M1s are going to be focusing on this area. G3 M2s doing random patrol. Now, speaking of that, it'll probably sign that commander's a shore defense battery somewhere in North Dakota. Ooh, that was sassy. Okay. Oh dear. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have these guys stand down for the time being. The reason being, sure it'd be nice to hit these targets over here, but I'm not going to go and hit that without actual support. We saw that our ships, well, our aircraft completely failed to land bombs, so there's no need to that, to do that again. What I'm going to do is, once I actually do have Bangkok available and open for business, I'll look to actually assign maybe some KF-43s or something of that sort of nature to escort them in over that area. And then we'll look at actually taking control of the Andaman Sea and really try to, I don't know, probably raid like Rangoon to some extent. But yes, everything's moving south. It's going to take some time to get there, but it'll get there. Don't forget about reducing the combat temperature over Bangkok. It's 100%. Yeah. We'll reduce it down to about 50-50. Okay. Add submarines pulling back. These submarines are pulling back, besides the ones doing the patrols at the moment. And to be honest, this is going to be its own form of patrol, really, as we'll obviously have these submarines returning back home. To Truck and Kwajalein, really. So that's not too bad. I think with that we are done here. Do have this patrol actually. You're low on torpedoes, but that's fine. You're mostly there as information gathering, to be honest. You're undetected at the moment, which is fantastic. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting turn. It is going to be a very interesting turn. Go and tactical refuel for the time being. That'll do for the time being, man. It will be interesting to see where they go. And that was like 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, 2 destroyers. So not a weak force. Not a weak force. I think, to be honest, it might even potentially... he's either going to head into... Like, I think he might either head into Suva and Fiji, just this general area here in case he... Especially if he has carriers in his area, probably have him run towards them. But I do think he's probably going to be, like, looking to move up this way. Which is a very interesting and sobering thought, really. Yeah. What we need to do here, then, is once we've finished taking Naval, we're going to form a strong cover force, and we need to patrol this area to a degree. Be it with aircraft or with something, but we need some sort of service presence in this area here. None of the front lines, but the second lines. Okay, these 2 guys can actually return to Truck. Well, you're at Nauru Island at the moment. So you might as well pick up some resources, why not? I mean, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Only a couple 100 tons there, but at least it's something. There we go. We'll use the two Junyo class CVs with the mini Kiributai, because they are too slow for the Kiributai. It's an interesting question, really. There's a big difference in speed there, isn't there? But then again, what's the difference between a light and an escort carrier? Really size, to be honest. This bad boy. I mean, saying that, I mean, Tayo's a chunker. I don't know what the actual official differences is. Not at this moment. I'd have to obviously do a bit of reading for that one. But I'd say more than likely, it's either down to size or just aircraft capacity, really. Could even be speed. I don't know. I'd have to go and research the actual difference there, really. So at the moment I can't say. So it's a good question, actually. It's made me think about that. Okay, so what I'm going to do then, really, when it comes to the new class of carrier, is, I think for all... Yeah, I think for all intents and purposes, it's like, sure, they're slower than the Kiributai, but speed is all well and good. By the time they arrive, really, things could be radically different. I'm not going to be using the Kiributai as offensively in the future. I think I will have them operate with the Kiributai. Or we might even potentially have the Kiributai split into 2 carrier groups. Like, potentially 4 fast ones and then, like, another one of 2 fast to Junyo. Or Junyo. Escort carriers had very small flight wings, mainly composed of anti-submarine and some fighter. That's awesome there. Thank you very much for that, Jack Tank. Really appreciate my dude. Yeah, I think I'll have them operate with the Kiributai in some respect. I think it's great, like, having concerns about speed, and obviously speed is a consideration. But I think in reality, it's going to come down to the fact of just having the sheer amount of raw air capacity, really. Which would be handy. I mean, I really foresee using the Kiributai as a defensive force, or more of a force of power projection to a degree, to a very limited degree sort of thing. We'd only use them offensively when we're able to take the area, or we have forces to escort, or something of that nature. They're never meant to remain on station. So I think really speed isn't that much of a consideration as such. I think really having the capacity is worth more. The light carriers and the escort carriers can look after the Dutch East Indies and that sort of area, obviously because they're going to have the benefits of ground-based aircraft. But I think the fleet carriers do belong with the Kiributai. I think what we need to do is just... I mean, if we can avoid losing the carrier, touching wood... Like, I'm just going to touch wood now. No, I'm touching it. Yeah, if we can avoid losing the carrier, the potential to really increase the strength of the Kiributai will be worth far more than a couple extra knots. I think so anyhow. I do intend to have a Yamato class operate with them in the future to some degree. At least it's going to be operating out there to some degree. And this is it. They could run well with the Yamato, perhaps, but we'll see. I think it's going to be a very different world by the time they arrive, really. So it's going to be one of these of, like, how do we intend to use them? I think it's very much going to come down to how the situation is at the time. We'll have another light carrier in 9 days, thankfully. We'll never have Shinano. 66 days until the first arrives. Yeah, then 30th of May, 1st of December. And as well... Yeah. I mean, these guys will be able to convert beginning in December 1942 to light carriers. I just think what we need to do is just try to make the most of our carriers. Just really try to... I mean, this is it. We need to be American in this aspect. Or we need to concentrate air power. Aye. Much to consider and much to debate. And I think this is it. There's a lot of reasons to use them, separate and with them. But I think in my opinion at the moment, I think it would be worthwhile just to have that sheer concentration of air power against Allied forces. Because if I don't lose a carrier to something like a Midway or to a Battle of the Coral Sea, it's most likely that he won't lose the carrier either. So we'll have to see, really. It's going to be a very interesting campaign. I think the last turn was fantastic. I think that was really a nice turn for us. Thankfully, these men survived here. So these men in the next 2-3 days will be arriving here at Lafoa. And the end of New Malaya will begin. It will begin. I could have these men march to New Malaya now, but I'm going to wait for the rest of the forces to arrive. Yeah, throw planes at the problem till it disappears, really, for the most part. But it's like, to be honest, the way we're going to be running this show here is the Kitabatai really isn't going to be crossing that line. Notice I drew this here, and to be honest, that's even still too far forward. The Kitabatai... Whoops. Yeah, they won't really be crossing beyond the Marshalls. That's kind of the point at which the Kitabatai operates. There we go, a happy little Jappy. Yeah. Oh dear. Somebody take a drawn tool away from me because I will misuse it. I think that's what we're going to do. So then, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I tell you what. So it's a good idea to make a quick save. Good. Look at that, turn 29, my god. Okay, I'm going to make a quick save here then. So turn 41, end. I mean, at least we've always got a save there. Just in case anything goes wrong. But yes, would anybody like to suggest a name for the end of the turn? Something suitably sassy, really. That'd be nice. But we are done with the turn here. Indeed, what will the name of the turn be? I'm going to let you guys decide on that. So I did name the last one Statutory Ape. Mostly because I feared what was going to happen. Thankfully, it didn't actually happen, so that was great. But yeah, go on guys, I'll let you guys decide then. And gals. There's occasionally some gals in here. Very rare. My audience is literally between 100 and 99%. Scatter. Oh, what do they call it now? Oh. What do they call it? No more 44. Oh, I've got it now. Serpentine maneuver. Or zigzag, zigzag. I think that'd be fun there. There we go. Zigzag. Zigzag. They're gaining on us. Heavy Japanese Task Force Commander, January 16th to January 17th, 1942. Oh dear. Yep, I'll go with that. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't it incredible, isn't it? January 17th. And we've been effectively on with this series since September of 2018. I'm not kidding when we're talking in terms of like years at this point. It's going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy. I might very well die before the end of this. Touch wood not. Because I'm going to take Matt out first. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I don't know. I'm just imagining this time next year, ideally the series is still ongoing, like what the hell is the map going to look like? It's going to be amazing. Okay. Thank you so very much for that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for your support. Thank you so very much for showing up. Thank you so very much for your suggestions. I do, as you know, take them into consideration. I mean, this is it. Thank you for being there for the highs. Thank you for being there for the lows, really. And I've started and finished uni by the time this finishes. Yes, pretty much. Pretty much. Thank you so very much for that, ladies and gentlemen. If you've enjoyed this, the best way you could consider supporting the channel would be through Patreon. Now, subscribing on Twitch is awesome. It is far better than YouTube, but the way that I do get the most support is through Patreon. But obviously that's up to you guys. There's no pressure. And at the end of the day, I'm happy that you guys even turn up. It's an amazing series that we have here together. And I truly do believe it is in fact a collaborative one. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the future. Goodbye for now. Have a beautiful evening, or day, and whatever you're doing. Have fun. See you soon, guys. Goodbye for now.